October of 2017, after the Harvey Weinstein scandal broke, I called her up and she told me about this assault.
Well, I went to lunch with my girlfriends, and there was 8 of us there, and 6 out of the 8 admitted that they had been sexually assaulted back in the 50s and never said anything. Never. Well, it made me feel, I'll tell you, a ton of bricks like fell off my shoulder, because the same person who had assaulted one of these girls had done it to me, and we both said nothing.
She had talked about that for decades, and it really reframed the whole way she saw the world, and it changed the way she perceived Trump.
He's no better than the rest. You know, he did it. He shouldn't get away with it.
And she wound up saying that she wouldn't vote for him again because she sort of identified him as a sexual harasser and assaulter. She wound up walking that back. And I know everybody kind of wants the story where a Trump supporter encounters something and changes their mind about Trump. That's not quite what happened. Still, it was very interesting to be on the other end of the phone and listen to her go through that.
The past 2 years have really been a whirlwind. Another turning point was the violence in Charlottesville. What impact did that have on the lives of your subjects?
So there was one person in particular who was really impacted by the violence in Charlottesville. That was Urtafa, a Muslim American woman who lives in Charlottesville. She's a PhD student. She was involved in the counter protests during the Summer of Hate.
A few months after that, the August 12th rally happened. It was the one that got the most attention, and I saw it happen. I saw national media pick up on the level of violence.
It had a really profound impact on her that I think is impossible to overstate.
When the car attack happened, I think it was just like not even in the realm of my imagination that could happen. I still haven't looked at any videos from that day.
And I think that event is really a traumatizing event. I mean, particularly for people of color. Not just the violence, but the images.
And, you know, like, I have to walk the lawn to get to my office to go teach. And that's where, like, I have images burned in my head of Nazis carrying torches, walking down there screaming, you know, "You will not replace us, Jews will not replace us."
But at the same time, I think everybody in America, when that happened, sort of formed this instant opinion or had a take, you know, which is what happens with so many political events.
I had only heard what Trump had said.
Adam, who's a white Trump supporter in Texas.
And he said something to the effect of, they're like bad actors on both sides, and not everybody there was a member of the KKK. When he said that, like it made sense to me.
Of course, he is rationalizing, and he's trying to justify, you know, Trump's both sides comment.
I don't doubt that there are racist people out there. I guarantee you there's racist people out there. I have to believe in the good in people, or I will see the world as a very scary place that like needs to be feared.
And again, a lot of people will hear what he says and find it very, very hurtful. But it was our job to present, to the best of our ability, different experiences. Adam and Urtafa are talking about two completely different things almost, but we had to show that, and we were really asking ourselves, how do you show everyone's point of view in a way that's fair and real?
How did you find the answer? I mean, it's subjective for some folks, and for others it's not. It's something that there are some norms that should not be stepped over. How do you find that balance?
With that section, we chose clips from Urtafa and Adam where they were talking specifically about perception and perspective of Charlottesville. You can't equate their stories of that event. That's a false equivalency. You know, even Adam says in that section,
I understand that, yeah, like I'm a middle-class white guy, and so I can have the worldview that I have.
I thought that was really astute and interesting that he would be so self-aware in that way. And at the same time, Urtifa is talking about sort of the deep pain that she experienced. And I think that's a really interesting conversation. They're both kind of aware of where they're coming from.
What were some of the big changes that you noticed across the board? Were there major themes that these 6 individuals really exemplified for you?
I'd say the change we observed really was just how tired everybody became with politics and the current state of partisanship. There was a buzz term that went around late last year, the exhausted majority. I think exhaustion is an apt term.
John, I have a question though, John.
Yeah,
Are you, when you say the exhausted majority, are we just plain old exhausted?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like, very simply, yes.
Yes, right? Because I mean, can we just say like we're all burned out a little bit? Not just millennials, but all Americans, I feel, are somewhat just tired. It's been a slog.
Right, and I would think that there's an opportunity right there, right? If we're all exhausted, maybe more people are open to conversations and finding solutions and compromises, and we can build bridges.
John Fecile is the lead producer on 2 Years, Diaries of a Divided Nation, airing on KCRW's Left, Right, and Center. John, thanks so much for the project, and thanks for your work.
Thanks, Tanzina.
And that's our show for today. If you have any thoughts for us, you can give us a call at 877-8MY-TAKE, or you can reach us on Twitter at The Takeaway. I'm Tanzina Vega. This is The Takeaway, and thanks so much for listening.
The Takeaway is supported by Fracture, creating modern photo decor by printing their customers' photos directly on glass. A Fracture is image, frame, and mount all in one, available in a selection of square and rectangle sizes. Learn more at fractureme.com/takeaway.
PRI, Public Radio International.
This is WHYY. Stay tuned for Here and Now.
Supporting WHYY, Westtown School presents Winterfest, Saturday, February 9th from 9:30 to 11:30. This event for children ages 3 to 7 is open to the public. It's an active morning for the mind and body, exploring the arts and sciences in the Westtown School Athletic Center. There's yoga and mindfulness, an obstacle course, natural bird feeder building, and more. Pre-registration is required. Learn more at westtown.edu/winter.
Supporting WHYY, Inishnuah Theatre Company, dedicated to staging contemporary plays from Ireland and the UK. Inishnuah presents the American premiere of Box Clever by Montse Whitney. In a women's shelter in London, Marnie is doing her best to care for her 4-year-old daughter, despite a failing social system. Box Clever runs February 6th through the 24th at the Louis Bluver Theater at the Drake. Learn more at tellthestory.us.
The WHYY forecast for today, temperatures should take a tumble into the mid-40s by later today, clearing skies overnight and breezy with lows dipping to the upper 20s, and fair skies and cold for Friday.
This is WHYY FM Philadelphia, WNJN FM 89.7 Atlantic City, WNJZ 90.3 Cape May Courthouse, WNJB FM 89.3 Bridgeton, WNJM 89.9 Manahawkin, and WNJS FM 88.1 Berlin.
Funding for Here and Now comes from MathWorks, creators of MATLAB and Simulink software, accelerating the pace of engineering and science. Learn more at mathworks.com.
From NPR and WBUR Boston, I'm Jeremy Hobson.
I'm Peter O'Dowd. It's Here and Now. Coming up, as the government shutdown wears on, thousands of federal workers wonder if they'll have money next month to pay the rent. We'll talk with a Michigan mom about the impact on her kids.
They're like, can we go for ice cream, or can we get pizza? And I have to explain, Mama can't do this right now.
Also, the UK's decision to leave the EU is pushing some companies to leave the UK.
And remember, this is not just about British companies, it's about many foreign companies.